reflector.
Yes.
Yeah, it's Monday afternoon,
Hi.
and we're back. We've survived another week, and
Life is good.
good to be with you as always. Couple different wrinkles for this week. Can I just do this? There's something here that doesn't look right to me. Oh, I'm wrong. I want to go that way. Okay, it does look right to me.
No, I just had a great nap.
Anyhow, you just had a great nap.
I just feel like really refreshed. I had a good nap here.
Couple really. First of all, very cool to hang out with you again. And each week, it seems I run into one or two people that tell me that they're that they listen into this in some capacity at some time, and when they talk about things or things that they like the best, it's really pretty amusing to hear what they are. They may not always be the things that we would think would be the moment, but it's surprising sometimes. I'll leave it at that. Enjoyable, funny usually.
Yeah, but like what? You're not even letting them know like
and
what?
a couple good ones. Well, I don't want to sway people's opinions
Okay.
or thoughts. I'm just sharing that. It seems I've never talked about it before, but during the course of the week, I just run into a guy in our community. He was riding his bike as I was walking, and he stopped to pull over to tell me that they listen a lot on Mondays, and there was his favorite episode was you getting bit by ants.
Somebody else really loved that one too.
But he was just one instance. He was not the norm, but it just made me smile, made me laugh.
That really was live. It was like that really happened live.
Well, so was this. Everything is.
Yeah, but
What's
I
that
mean,
mean? What does that mean?
I think that was an real honest emotion. Not that anything. Never mind. I'm going to just stop here. Rewind. Okay, rewind.
I went to the bank this week. I don't know why that's funny.
Because I'm thinking about.
I had to go to the bank because I needed quarters and I couldn't get them from the automatic teller. And I walked in and there were three people in the bank. One was probably the manager, was in the front office, and then there was a woman in the back office who seemed to be kind of working very busy. Both glass walled kind of offices so I could see in. And then there was a third guy, a third person who was a young guy who like popped up like he was in the Jack in the Box and gave me one of those, hey, how are you? In my close talker, right in my face.
I'm watching from the car, and he's literally like, I see Ed walking in, and the guy's like, and Ed's walking in, and the guy's like next to him. He's still walking. What is going on in there? He's really excited to have somebody in there.
He really just like popped. I did not see where he came from. He just popped up out of nowhere, and he was directly in front of me. And he said, can I help you? And I said, well, I'm just going to go to the teller here. I just need to get a roll of quarters. And as I said that, the woman who was in the office went scurrying out. I'll take care of you right over here. And took me to a teller. There were just ghost tellers there. There was nobody there. Four teller booths or windows. Nobody working them. And she was so happy to
have a person
to get my roll of quarters for me. And he was talking. He never did stop talking. I think even when I went out the glass doors in the front, he was still talking to me. Nothing in this world stays the same except Jesus, right? He's the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
Yeah.
Hebrews 13:8. But it's just amazing to me when I go into a place like that. One of the things I did share with this gentleman was that I missed the romance of going. I used to complain nothing for a short period of time when I had a regular kind of a job. You know, you would get your paycheck, you would go to there Friday night, and the place would be mobbed, and they'd have the teller lines with the poles up and all, because everybody was there with their paycheck,
Yeah.
to cash it and or to deposit. Uh, and there was usually at least 6 tellers and teller windows, and they were all full with people working, and there was all this energy in the bank. Um, but it was like a ghost town when I went in there, and
Can I just say something?
took me back a little bit. Please do.
Because you just took me back a little bit. I just had this sweet memory of, like, I remember Ed always giving me the domestic job of going to the bank, taking whatever to the bank, and I would take the girls with me, or one of our girls, and I'll tell you, the highlight of the time there was the taffies, that they would always get taffies there. Do you remember that? There's little taffies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that was like, you just brought back that sweet memory. Like, that's what the bank was, but now it's like, I didn't even realize that, because I haven't been into a bank for probably 100 years. And when he came out, he was telling me the story, and I was like, wow, really? That's how it is now? Like, just like you said, everything's so different.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a different
hey,
world.
only cling to Jesus, right? He's the one that stays the same.
Today, tomorrow, forever.
Also, earlier in the week, we went to our Tuesday night. Tuesday night's a Bible study that I'm part of for young men, and I have a seat as an elder, kind of at this event, and I also lead worship for before we get started each week. That as we got there, the whole drive over, and it's not that far. It's only a 15-minute drive, but the whole drive over, my feet were uncomfortable in my shoes, and when we got there, Susan meets with at the house is the other elder. The two of us kind of have oversee this thing. Actually, we're sidecars at this point. We've got the guys running it themselves, but she has befriended his wife, and
We do,
so they have their own
one-on-ones.
little
Yeah.
they have their own little meeting in the back.
Yeah.
Okay. I want you to move a little bit. This looks like you have a white bandage on your chin. There you go. Just lean left or right. There you go. This is
I
good.
always have
This
that
is good.
something.
This is good. We look like we care about each other.
We do care.
Anyhow,
It's me.
as I
We do care about each other. Never
as
mind.
as I got out of the car, I said, just give me a second here. And as I took my shoes off, I had a tea bag in each shoe.
Would anybody like to guess why he would have a tea bag in his shoes?
Somewhere along the line, I read somewhere that the tea bags themselves are kind of absorbent. And if you put them in your shoes, the ones that you sweat a lot in, certainly down here in Florida, when I'm walking, they absorb the moisture, and they also absorb the unwanted scent sometimes. They work great. However, you have to remember that they're in there before you put them on, and I neglected to do that.
And that's if you wear closed-toed shoes. I don't have that problem because I never wear closed-toed shoes.
And I couldn't help but think of Psalm 51, create in me a clean shoe, O God, and renew a right spirit within my feet. I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. I had the opportunity this week to minister to someone who sought me out, and often during the course of the week, I think we run across people that are lost, hurt, and are confused, and I just would encourage you never to take those opportunities for granted. Never be too busy to take the time. I interrupted my walk for 15, 20 minutes or more to have this just kind of a lengthy conversation with this person, just to because I felt, I mean, initially I was just there to listen, to hear what was going on, and after a period of time, when they were done, Spirit put this very simple answer on my heart, and I did get a chance to see them later in the week, and they were very thankful for the opportunity, and I immediately went to prayer to thank God and the Spirit for leading me through that little conversation. But
they're divine appointments, is how I call them.
Yeah, they certainly are. And there have been moments in my past where I rushed through them because I felt like whatever was my plan was to do next was more important, and I just want to encourage you not to do that. Luke 19:10, for the Son of Man came to seek and to save the lost. And as his disciples, I think we can take on that mantle to help save people from the darkness in this world. Sometimes with the simplest, sometimes it's just listening.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's
just a smile.
nothing more than smiling and listening to them. Saturday night, we went back to real time. We got rid of daylight saving. But earlier in the week, on Thursday morning, Susan and I both have early kind of Bible studies that we go to, and we go in opposite directions. And I don't really use an alarm here. I have an alarm on my phone right now. I'm not setting myself alarms every 3 hours to pray because I've been very good at doing it lately. I've been pretty disciplined. So my alarms on my phone are basically one to go pick up the mail at our community, and that's 5 days a week. And I have an alarm to make sure that we get to church on time Sunday morning, which I always wake up before the alarm anyhow. It's kind of an emergency thing. So on Thursdays, we both were up and out early by 7:30. I'm at a cafe in town, and Susan is in community with someone else. Give me one second here as I.
Hi, Maddie.
You're on the Mondays with the Mans currently.
Would you like to say hi to everybody?
Oh, am I?
So say hello to everybody. And we'll talk later unless you wanted to add something.
I'm watching home movies, so
Hi.
enough said.
Oh, that's sweet. Our girl.
Sidebar. So I'm going to take an exit for a second. Every Thursday morning I do this meeting, and Maddie calls me first, right? And then you.
Yeah.
But every morning, on Monday through Friday, she checks in with us. It's our youngest daughter.
She loves us.
Who just loves
us.
Loves sharing her life with us as much as possible. She carves out time to do that. She carves out time of her life to do that.
It's not only here, it's in him too.
I admire her. I admire her for that.
Yeah.
I often didn't, I called my parents when I needed them for something, as opposed to making them a part of my
Every single day.
my daily life. So I admire that she does that, and we're both blessed that she does it.
Yes.
Obviously.
Yes.
But it's amazing, as connected as we are, that she'll still. Now, this, other than those morning ones, anything else in the day would be sporadic if something comes up. But it's amazing how many times she calls me Tuesday morning as I'm in the car driving to the cafe, or calls me late in the cafe as I'm in my Bible time with my friends. And this is the second or third time she's done it here. She often calls on Thursday nights in Evensong. She's been on a handful of those.
Yeah.
So
That's
don't
Maddie.
seem to bother her at all.
No.
But anyhow, this Thursday morning, the alarm went off as it always does. Susan sets that alarm because she's afraid she's leading her Bible worship, and she wants to make sure that she's prepared. And this week it went off, and I got up and I jumped in the shower. And I'm hustling because I've got 15 minutes to shower, get dressed, get in the car, and get up to my cafe. And I got showered, hustled through, got dressed, got to the counter. Susan said in her chair having coffee, going over her notes. And I went to get my wallet and my keys, and I saw that it was 2 minutes after 7. Now, I was moving fast, but the alarm's supposed to go off at 7. So obviously there was a communication breakdown between us. She decided. Why did you decide to do it 15 minutes earlier?
I don't think you remember this, but I do it. Well, maybe 10 minutes earlier than 7 when I I always do that. You're usually up before that. Like you could have a 5, 6:30. I usually set it. I don't set it at 7. I set it a little bit before 7. It could be 5 of. It could be 10 of. It could be quarter of. It was a quarter of. So
I don't remember it ever being before 7. So,
oh, I'm sure it was.
um, James would have been happy to me. Quick to hear, slow to speak, slow to anger. James 119. I did not get angry. It was a joke. I mean, it really was funny to
I
me.
didn't think you got angry.
It was
no.
funny to me that I rushed
Yeah.
and got through all that and thought, wait a minute, how we're
Truth be told, I pretty much set the alarm for myself because I don't want to mess up in case you would ever sleep.
oh, because I usually wake you at 7 every morning.
Yeah,
I got it.
you know
I
what
got
I'm saying?
you.
Like,
I got you. I got
I
you.
really do it selfishly for myself.
I got
'cause
you.
You're always togethering up and doing your thing. So.
I got you.
I have to tell you something funny. This is really funny. Arlene says right here, right? Talking about she said hi to Maddie, and then she says, "This is Aunt Arlene," and she says, "I just go on Facebook every day to know everybody that I'm alive." Thought that was pretty funny.
Sometimes that's
And
how
Min's here too, so I just want to say hi to her. Hi, girl.
Sometimes that's how we feel.
Oh, Auntie Arlene.
So Friday in my journal, I took note of well, let me read you a piece of scripture from Ephesians 5:11, where it says, "Take no part in the unfruitful works of darkness, but instead expose them." And there's people on both sides of the Halloween fence, and I respect that totally. I totally respect it. I'm not telling you one thing or the other because when you read pieces of scripture like this,
I just read this morning in Romans 14, right? About Satan, about people who back then went, because they wanted to diet this way or they wanted to go to service on Sunday. You know what I mean? I just read that this morning.
So I had two thoughts about Halloween. One was I always feel bad when little kids come to the door to get a piece of candy, to get and you don't answer.
No.
I just feel bad. I know what it was like as a kid to
Yeah.
go to the door. Really, Halloween was about just getting candy for me. It wasn't about anything negative. It had no negative connotation. It had no history other than what costume I wore the year before. That was the only history it had. And I was thinking, so this year I told Susan almost at the exact moment she had the same kind of thought. Let's just put some candy out for the kids in the community. Just because we haven't for a couple of years. We've been the old people on the block. We're just another old couple in the community here. But the other thought I had was nobody showed up.
Nobody came. I was so sad. I was out there dressed.
I was thinking, Halloween is not a thing anymore like it used to be. I know there's still kids that get together. I like the treats with trunks or whatever it's called, where the churches back their cars up and have the kids go through the lot. And I get that. It's a safer way. The world's not the same as it was back then. My mother never had to go through my fruit to see if there were razor blades in them. She never had to worry about packages being unopened. In fact, I probably ate all the loose candy in the bottom of my bag before I got home, so they wouldn't, So I just, it wasn't, but it's just not what it used to. It's another thing, like the bank.
Yeah, I know.
We
sound really old.
That's not what it used to be. I'm sensing a theme here today.
Yeah.
We had an opportunity this week over the weekend to go to a local business. It's Rehab Vintage
Markets.
Yeah, the Rehab Vintage Market. It's a store that's open, I think, 4 or 5 days a week. With they really do kind of an upscale vintage stuff. It's not like a thrift store.
No.
It's not a place to go to get a bargain. It's a place to go to get either artwork that someone else has made from useless. What would be useless are things that are given away, waste, that type of thing. And there's a lot of really good older
It's
things
just very vintagey.
that people have um, in fine condition.
Yeah.
You're not going to find the broken thing here that's they're selling real cheap or the so that's not the kind of place it is. And then once a month they have an outdoor event around their building, and they invite like juried
Vendors.
artists and vendors to come in and have kind of a party day with food trucks and stuff. And so I take Susan each week because Lord knows she loves to shop, number one, and vintage
What
is
girl
that much
doesn't?
better. And of course, I enjoy the vintage part
Yeah.
of it. I've gotten things there in the past, and I got a great hymnal, old hymnal from 1909 that had some things in there that I hadn't seen before. So I'm real excited about reading through those and getting inspired by them. But as we were getting near the very end, I passed this little corner spot, and there was a gentleman who made Christmas trees out of the scraps of old doors. And I should have taken a picture of it. But will come Christmas, I'll show
I
you.
wish I could bring it in, but it's like
We'll
as
do
big
a
as me.
we'll do a live event in front of my new Christmas
You have to
tree.
explain it because it's not really a
Um,
Christmas. It is a Christmas.
No, it's a
tree, but-
Christmas. I don't want to explain it.
Okay.
It's a Christmas
Never mind.
because when we get up, I'm gonna travel. I'm gonna take it up north with us, and it has a couple places that I think are just going to be beautiful in our home.
Mhm.
It's a wonderful piece of art that this gentleman created. He collects old doors. He uses every bit, the hinges, the actual finishes. He'll make new designs out of the way the doors, the way he'll cut the doors. He
The
uses
old
the
knobs,
he
right?
uses the doorknob
Yeah.
and the plate, the door plate. And he just did a really good thing. This thing caught my eye, and I hemmed and hawed, and I thought, no, this is the kind of stuff that I want in my home. I want, and the other side of it is I want to support people
Yeah.
that are
Creative like that. Yeah.
trying to get by as artists, and at the same time, this had a Christmas. This was a Christmas tree. You could do other things with it. You could use it, and you could probably do some decoration things to use it throughout the year.
Which I
But
will
that's
do.
not. But that's not what the calling card was for
Right,
me.
exactly,
It'll
yeah.
always be.
Yeah. Well, we didn't
It'll
even think about
always
that until
be
they
the
told us.
Christmas tree that
You
that-
dragged all the way home from Florida.
that I still have to figure out how to get
He's
it
always
home.
about. You can't buy big things because we have to take them home. We don't have room. In the
No,
car.
I'm always.
This thing is
I'm,
huge.
I'm always about bringing less, because last May when we went home, I'm telling you that I could not squeeze another thing in the car without breaking windows, having windows pop out. We had so much stuff in the car because we went to all these different little cities.
Yeah, we
and
did and got
went
some.
vintage shopping,
Yes.
hunting. So, what else do I have here?
You have your scripture.
Oh,
Bible?
Sunday. Sunday we got to church, and as we sat down, I made an attempt to remodel the pew in front of me with my knee, and I am not good at thinking about how fragile our lives are on a daily basis. The only time I think about our fragility is when I hurt myself, or when someone I know or love gets hurt. And Ephesians 5:15 says, "Look carefully then how you walk, not as unwise, but as wise." And if I would have read that and thought about that first, I wouldn't have damaged the underneath my kneecap the way I did.
It's not just a lot of room there.
comfortable.
Yeah.
It's not comfortable. It will let me know 4 or 5 times a day still what I did to it. But the amazing blessing I have from God is that y'all know I'm a walker. It has not infringed on my walking. It hasn't, caused me to have pain there. So, last thing in my journal was a short little. I love getting short little phrases, always trying to say more with less words. And we had a guest speaker in church on Sunday um, who offered a really nice little couplet here off of Proverbs 1:5. Let the wise hear and increase in learning, and the one who understands obtain guidance. Let the wise hear and increase in learning, and the one who understands obtain guidance. This is from Proverbs 1:5, and he was speaking. He was speaking largely about we're in the middle of a smart home series, and how it affects our individual homes. And this was basically about couples getting along, married couples getting along, and the five little bullet points that were important. And this last thing was listening. And he said, "Listen to understand, not to reply." 6 little words.
Yeah.
Listen to understand, not to reply. I'm guilty. I'm guessing. If I asked you to raise hands, most of you would raise your hand, except for those that are lying, that they're guilty of listening and thinking about their reply before the person has even stopped talking.
I'm terrible at that. I'm like the worst.
Listen to understand, not to reply.
Yes.
Man, that's big.
That's hard.
If you took anything out of our little time today, that's what I would hope that you would take with you, right? Let the wise, again, Proverbs 1:5, let the wise hear and increase in learning. If we listen to understand, we're going to learn stuff. That's the whole process of going to school as a kid was I didn't listen when I was real young, and I didn't learn. My mind was off wandering about something else in the classroom, or in middle school and high school, the girl that was sitting over here. But it wasn't on what the teacher was saying. So often I didn't understand what was being taught. If I went back and read about it, oh yeah, it's simple. But that gap in between, listen, let the wise, you want to be wise? I don't know. Maybe you don't. But if you want to be wise, hear and increase in learning. And the one who understands obtains guidance. Obtains guidance. Often, when Susan will reply quickly to something I'm saying, it has nothing to do with what I was saying. She's guessing where I'm going to go. And after 35 years, that's not too hard of a guess. You know, we often
I'm terrible with
we
that.
often know where we're headed.
Yeah.
But
I'm always worried that I'm not going to remember how to reply. Yeah.
I don't think so.
I
don't think that's worded right.
Okay.
I don't know. The point being to listen, to understand, and not to reply. There's plenty of time. I was able to help that person on Tuesday because it was one of those odd situations where I was aware of the fact that I needed to just listen.
Yeah.
I needed to just listen, because a lot of times if people have an issue or a problem, if you let them talk enough, they're going to hear themselves say the answer. I wanted to add something new.
I gotta say something.
Yeah.
Mary Good.
Yeah. Mary Good.
Mary Good.
Hey, Mary.
She said to rent a U-Haul trailer and haul your stuff home. Now that's a girl after my own heart. Thank you.
You're not helping, Mary.
You're the best.
You're not helping. I'm assuming Paul's not in the room while you're sharing that.
That's really awesome. I knew I loved her.
I wanted to last week at the end of our little time together, I made a joke about what we were watching, and it kind of laid on my heart. And right about half hour or so, around 3 o'clock, I thought, I want to talk. I want to look at what we watched this week,
Mm-hmm.
um, and maybe share each week what we're watching, what we're watching,
Mm-hmm.
uh, pro and con,
Yeah.
because we watched a movie last night called Basquiat.
Very interesting.
Basquiat,
Yeah.
about an artist called Jean-Michel Basquiat.
Mm-hmm.
And takes place in the 80s. I don't want to ruin the movie, but it takes place in the 80s in New York City in the art community. And it's really about this particular artist and his struggle with his art, his struggle with his art. What does it mean to be an artist? How does he make a living? What kind of life is he living?
Mm-hmm.
Um, who's he hanging out with?
Mm-hmm.
And back in the time space, that back in that season of my life, I lived in that environment, and so it really resonated with me.
Mm-hmm.
um, I don't know if it did for you, but it did for me. In Philadelphia, in Philly, there was an art community, and well, anyhow, like I do often, I tend to watch things, and I try desperately to watch it through the eyes of Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And it's amazing the things that I think about. And there were three different thematic questions within this movie. One is art versus authenticity. And I want to read this, make sure I get it right. True art often risks being corrupted when it enters systems that are built on money, prestige, and power.
Mm.
Money, prestige, and power. Now, for me, as a Christian artist, it can't ever be about money, prestige, and power. It has to be about God. Um, if I'm not a believer, if I'm not a Christian, if I'm not being driven, if my passion isn't to create for this God, then I'm probably more prone. But I know that there's been a lot of successful Christian musicians who have fallen off the road, fallen off the way because of money, prestige, and power. And even this, what we do here is very easy. The world will decide, the world will say this live stream is successful or not by prestige, right? By how many likes it has, how many followers it has,
Mm-hmm.
how many views it has. When in reality, for me, if the one person that needs to hear this hears it, if the one person that God deems needs to hear this hears it, then it's a win.
And that's enough.
That's a win.
Yeah.
Um, would I like to reach 100 or 1,000 people? Yeah, I love our message. I love our message to see God's fingerprints on your life every day, all through your life. I love that. But ultimately, the authenticity of it is how God uses it. Us providing it. We're providing it here so God can use it, or He can say, "Well, I'm not using that episode." The second one was fame and self-destruction. You know where this is going. Fame can isolate rather than uplift.
Mm.
Everybody thinks that if they were famous, if I could be like that person, if I could be like that person, that my life would be better. And success without grounding or understanding can lead to self-destruction. Well, who do you love? Right? Bible warns us all the time. Who do you love? Right? Why are you doing things in life? If you're doing them for the wrong reason, you can't love two gods, right? You can't. So, third one, last one, fragility and genius. Genius often burns brightly but briefly. History has shown that we've got so many wonderful, great artists in all different media who we've lost, a lot of them in their 20s.
I know.
Um,
It's hard
they
to put yourself out there, you
they
know?
burn brightly but briefly, and art can be both a gift and a burden when the world is not ready to receive the soul behind it. Okay, check that out again, right?
Yeah.
Art can be both a gift and a burden when the world is not ready to receive the soul behind it. There are a lot of people that used to be fans of mine that aren't, that walked away when I decided to write about Jesus.
Mm.
In their own personal lives, they were not ready yet to receive that message.
Yeah.
You know,
It's okay.
I
It's not
couldn't.
okay, but
It
it's
wasn't.
okay.
It was not. It had to be okay with me.
Yeah, true.
It's never okay for them.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it had to be okay for me to say, "Oh, this is who I am. This is what is on my heart. This is my purpose in life now, and my passion." I'm still writing the same type of music. I'm still the same person. The God that was dormant in me was still there. The seeds, the roots took place, and then all of a sudden now, that's what I want to be writing about. Um, I think that a lot of times they say the world's not ready to hear the message that's being spoken, and um, in this case, for me, I know exactly what that means because I've had to live through it, and I've had to wade through the disappointment of people that decided. Um,
They don't want to hear you anymore.
but over the period of time, too, over 20 plus years of being a Christian artist, too, there's a number of them who have come
Back.
to the table,
Yeah.
who have accepted Jesus,
Everybody in
and
their own
who
time.
have bridged that gap.
Just
So,
checking to see if we have anybody here that I want to say hi to. Or
So
anything.
while you're doing that, Matthew 6:24, no one can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or he will be devoted to one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and money, God and or the world, um, God and the power that Meta, the power of Meta, and their Facebook and Instagram, whatever else they own right now. Real quick, I'm gonna summarize some stuff we did, and then let Susan take us out of here. She checks in with some responses or
friends.
questions people might have had. We touched on what about change. Hebrews 13:8. Jesus is the one thing we can always count on, the same today, yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Um, Psalm 51:10 about creating a clean shoe. Um,
Clean foot.
Created me a clean soul, oh God, clean
A
heart,
soul. I like that.
a clean heart, oh God. My little conversation, Luke 19:10, for those we talked about being there for those that are lost, hurt. James 1:19, our little communication gaffe that we had. Talked briefly about Halloween and respecting each other's viewpoints about that. You don't need to participate in it because your best friend is, if it goes against what you believe. If it goes against what you believe, then you're right, it is a sin. But you don't want to condemn the other person who feels like it's not. Okay. Christmas tree, Isaiah 11:1. According to Mary, I need to go rent a U-Haul.
She solved that one for us.
More on that later. Mary, you know you're going to be invited over Christmas season. We always invite you to our Christmas gathering,
Yes,
so you may have the opportunity to see our tree
in person.
Number 7 about fragility. We should probably be much more aware of Ephesians 5:15 and just how fragile these bodies and life is in general. And lastly, number 8 was Proverbs 1:5 about listening, being better listeners, listening to understand instead of to reply.
Well, nothing much, but it's so beautiful here. I'm just saying that our windows are open. It smells really good. I hope that your weather is good where you are, and I hope that you have a good rest of your Monday. And I guess we're going to see them all next Monday, right?
God willing.
Yeah, God's willing. God willing.
God willing. I'll be all pumped up. I'll be all pumped up next Monday.
Why?
Yeah, next Monday. Eagles, Packers,
Oh,
Monday night.
or not Sunday?
Oh, they can't be Sunday and Monday night.
Okay, well, I don't know how they do what they do, but I love Sunday football. But
Um,
it'll be Monday football. That's
Monday
good.
night, I'll be all pumped up.
We'll have to, yeah, we'll be excited.
Pleasure is always hanging with you. God bless you all.
Always, yes.
I'm going to inch forward here in my seat and remind everybody, as always, before we
Take good care of yourselves.
move here to pray on, take everything to God in prayer,
Yes.
and journal so that you can look back at your week and find the humor in it, find God's smile in it, and also His loving grace.
Yes.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.